happens to our bodies when we leave Earth behind. Astronauts aren't just facing radiation and muscle loss, their immune systems also behave very differently in space. Today, we explore a bold idea. Much of space-induced immune dysfunction might come down to one basic thing: the collapse of the cell's internal skeleton. On Earth, our immune systems depend on a vast network of cells, innate defenders like macrophages and natural killer cells, and adaptive responders like T cells and B cells. These cells constantly change shape, migrate, and physically interact with their surroundings to fight off infections. But when humans venture into deep space, this finely tuned system begins to break down. Astronaut studies have documented immune suppression, reactivation of dormant viruses, and surprisingly rapid immune aging. Pause. But where do we find out this information? I made a review article discussing this whole topic. If you want to check it out, I'll link it in the description below. But what if all these different problems, from poor immune responses to chronic inflammation, have a common root cause? Inside every cell is a complex scaffolding, the cytoskeleton. It's made up of microfilaments, microtubules, and intermediate filaments. Think of it as a cell's internal bones and muscles. This structure lets cells hold shape, move, divide, and send signals from the outside world to the inside. Mechanotransduction is the process by which cells convert mechanical forces like pressure, stress, and gravity into biochemical signals. On Earth, gravity is a constant, so our cells have evolved to rely on that mechanical tension. But in microgravity, that backbone gets disrupted, and with it, the cell's abilities to sense its environment. Studies of cells flown into space or in simulated microgravity show clear signs: cytoskeletal reorganization, changes in cell shapes, altered adhesion, and disrupted intercellular transport with abnormal signaling. For immune cells such as T cells, they heavily rely on shape change and movement. This cytoskeletal disruption may undermine their ability to activate, migrate, or respond to different pathogens. For instance, under microgravity, T cells show reduced activations of key genes and weaker responses overall. Meanwhile, stem cells that create blood and immune cells, when exposed to microgravity, show signs of premature activation, genetic instability, and reduced regenerative capacity. In other words, spaceflight may accelerate immune aging. These studies suggest that a wide array of immune problems in space might stem from a singular issue: failure of the cytoskeletal mechanotransduction. Yes, we know that radiation, fluid shifts, stress, diet, and disrupted sleep all contribute to health issues during spaceflight. But none of these issues alone explain the wide variety of immune effects, from viral reactivation to immune aging to altered gene expression. According to my article, they seem more like compounding stressors than a unified cause. The strength of my hypothesis offers a single unifying mechanism, one that could explain many observations across different cell types and immune processes. If cytoskeletal failure is really what's behind space-induced immune decline, then countermeasures must go beyond just diet, exercise, or shielding from radiation. We might need to directly stabilize cellular structure, for example, by using different drugs that support cytoskeletal integrity. Researchers could also employ advanced tools in space like high-resolution microscopes, biosensors, or force measuring techniques. These could help monitor how cells behave in real microgravity, not just in simulations. Ultimately, if we want humans to travel deeper into space on long missions to Mars or beyond, we'll need to think about cellular architecture, not just oxygen tanks and radiation shields. Space is more than just a vacuum. It's an environment that fundamentally alters biology, right down to the architecture of our cells. The cellular gravity trap may be the hidden danger to astronaut immunity. To survive the next generation of space missions, we might need to engineer not just rockets, but resilient human cells. If you enjoyed this deep dive into space biology, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more space science breakdowns. Thank you so much for watching!